Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best OLED TVs.
Starting at number 5.
Sony 65-inch XR A80L. Not all of us can splurge on a flagship TV. But that's why models like Sony's XR A80L are so good. Technically considered an entry-level set, this 2023 model isn't a QD OLED like its higher-priced sibling, the A95L. Instead, we're dealing with a traditional OLED panel that's actually supplied by LG Display. One of the most important things to think about when buying any new TV is how it's going to look when displaying HDR-optimized content, as well as regular SDR sources. In the case of the Sony A80L, HDR content looks fantastic, with great peak and color brightness levels, as well as a wide color gamut and a near-perfect contrast ratio. SDR performance isn't bad either, although you'll definitely notice a drop in the brightness department. And even though the A80L does a nice job with reflection handling, it may not be ideal for brightly lit rooms. Under the hood, Sony's cognitive processor XR runs a good part of the show, just as it does on the flagship A95L, but without the aid of quantum dots for enhanced color saturation. Oh, and similar to the A95L, the A80L includes 4 HDMI ports, but only 2 of them are HDMI 2.1 certified, and one of these 2 ports is also the TV's ARC/EARC connection. Come on, Sony! Still, if you're looking to dive into the world of OLED TVs, but don't want to spend upwards of $2,000 on an ultra-premium model, the Sony A80L is a solid middle ground between lackluster entry-level sets we wouldn't recommend to our worst enemies and flagship displays that cost as much as a mid-2000s used Corolla.
Coming at number 4.
Sony 65-inch XR A95L. We finished our review of the Sony XR A95L as very happy campers. In fact, we awarded the latest Sony QD OLED flagship a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. This TV is seriously good, and because we're dealing with a QD OLED display, there's plenty of brightness, colors, and contrast perks thanks to those onboard quantum dots. But we're really just scratching the surface with those highlights, so let's take a look under the hood. As we've come to expect from most Sony sets, the formidable A95L is equipped with the company's cognitive processor XR, CPXR, as the main brains behind the picture. As it handles everything from frame-to-frame improvements and 4K upscaling, we've always been major fans of Sony's picture engine, but when you combine the CPXR with the A95L's native panel tech and XR Trilumino's Max, you get movies, shows, and video games that look like they could leap right off the screen. This is also the first of Sony's QD OLEDs to be equipped with the Pentonic 1000 HDMI chipset, which allows for Dolby Vision gameplay at up to 120 Hz. That's on top of other gaming features like VRR support and HDMI 2.1 connectivity. As for the latter, only 2 of the TV's 4 ports support the latest HDMI standard, and as our own Caleb Dennison points out in his review, one of these ports is also the TV's HDMI ARC/EARC port. This may pose a little trouble for those who may want to use the EARC connection for Dolby Atmos or HDMI CEC purposes, but one can always invest in an HDMI switcher if push comes to shove. Beyond that one minor hitch, the Sony A95L lives right on the cutting edge of TV tech, and other manufacturers should definitely be taking notes.
At number 3.
LG M3 Wireless. It was only a matter of time before a TV company decided to go wireless, at least in terms of AV connectivity. Sure, Samsung's One Connect tech is great for consolidating wire clutter, but the LG M3 series goes a step further by eliminating cable leads altogether. That's right, the M3 series wirelessly beams picture and sound to the TV via its Zero Connect box. A line-of-sight peripheral that should be placed no further than 30 feet away from the M3 series, you'll be able to connect everything from streaming devices to gaming consoles to the Zero Connect. Caleb Dennison, our editor-at-large, has had the privilege of seeing this bad boy in action, and reported that there is no discernible picture difference between a tried-and-true HDMI cable and the M3's wireless tech. As for overall picture quality, the LG M3 is simply a beast. As we've come to expect from the kinds of OLED, LG's M3 series delivers excellent color and contrast, on top of class-leading brightness for an OLED display. LG's phenomenal A9 AI processor Gen 6 is responsible for the TV's image upscaling, and it does a terrific job at further enhancing visuals for each and every frame. The M3 is also optimized for next-gen gaming, with resolution and motion clarity topping out at 4K/120Hz. You'll be able to grab this model in 77-, 83-, and 98-inch sizes, and even though this is LG's first foray into wireless TV tech, the execution is already excellent and we can't wait to see what future iterations of the M3 series will look and sound like.
Number 2 of my list.
LG C3 Series OLED. Man, it was a tough call for the best OLED for most people, Laurel, but after weighing the options and getting into the nitty-gritty of specs and cost, we believe the best OLED for most folks is undoubtedly the LG C3, at least until we get our hands on the 2024 LG C4, that is. Available in 42-, 48-, 55-, 65-, 77-, and 83-inch sizes, the LG C3 delivers an amazing picture that reaches some pretty impressive peak brightness levels, but more importantly, when it comes to both HDR and SDR performance, the C3's color and contrast capabilities are simply through the roof. The C3 is powered by LG's revamped A9 AI processor Gen 6, also found on the LG G3, which acts as the catalyst for features like AI Super Upscaling for K and AI Picture Pro. The C3 also includes LG's smart TV platform, WebOS, for all your Netflix and Disney Plus streaming needs. The UI is still a bit cluttered, something we've found irksome for a few years now, but distracting advertisements are easy to forgive when your OLED dishes out 4K at 120Hz across all 4 HDMI 2.1 inputs. What's the difference between the LG C3 and the premium G3 model below? The latter employs micro-lens array technology as part of its engineering, which allows the G3 to achieve higher peak brightness levels than the C3. Oh, and the G3 is meant to be hung on a wall. It comes with an LG wall mount, so it doesn't come with a stand, although you can purchase one separately. Like any OLED TV, the LG C3 is going to look its best in dark rooms. Those with bright rooms may want to look into QLED technology, but if your viewing space is troubled by ambient lighting, the C3 does an excellent job at handling reflections and looks great from a number of vantage points throughout a larger room.
And number 1.
LG 65-inch G4 OLED. LG has done it again, folks. One of our favorite TVs of 2023 was the amazing LG G3 series, and now that set has been ousted from its throne, only to be replaced by the LG G4. Much like its older brother, the G4 leverages micro-lens array, MLA, technology to achieve the kind of brightness levels we'd expect from an LED LCD. We've put the G4 through several picture tests and were absolutely blown away by its peak luminance, breathtaking colors, and next-level HDR performance. LG has long been a TV brand one gravitates toward for picture accuracy, and thanks to features like Filmmaker Mode on the G4, that reputation continues. As part of LG's gallery, what the G in G4 stands for, lineup, this OLED is designed to look like a piece of artwork when mounted to a wall. And if you purchase the 77-, 83-, or 97-inch version of the G4, the low-profile wall mount comes in the box. The 55 and 65-inch versions come with a tabletop stand. Each of the TV's 4 HDMI ports are 2.1 certified, with resolution and refresh rate capped at 4K/120Hz. Action movies, sports, and gaming will look particularly great on the G4, and lower-res sources get the 4K upscaling treatment. While WebOS 24 and the included LG Magic Remote may not be for everyone, we have no doubt that if you're looking for the best OLED picture that money can buy in 2024, you'll be hard-pressed to do better than the LG G4 series.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.